Retirement planning is a critical topic for almost everyone, but with so many options out there, it can become overwhelming. One strategy that has been gaining attention in recent years is the 8% withdrawal strategy, which could change everything for your financial future. If you've been thinking about retirement, you've probably heard of the 4% rule. It's the most common guideline for how much of your savings you can safely withdraw each year without running out of money. The idea is simple. You withdraw 4% of your savings each year, and with the right mix of investments, your portfolio will last for decades. However, recent studies have shown that the 4% rule might not be as reliable as once thought, especially given today's low interest rates and unpredictable stock market. This is where the 8% withdrawal strategy comes into play. The idea behind the 8% strategy is that if you're willing to take on more risk, you might be able to safely withdraw 8% of your savings each year. While this may sound too good to be true, let's break down how it works and why it could change everything for you. The primary concept behind the 8% withdrawal strategy is that you're willing to invest in higher risk assets to generate higher returns. The typical investment portfolio in a traditional retirement plan relies on a balanced mix of stocks and bonds. However, if you focus more on stocks and other growth-oriented assets, you might be able to earn a higher return, which allows for a higher withdrawal rate. For example, let's say you've saved up $1 million for retirement. According to the traditional 4% rule, you could safely withdraw $40,000 each year without depleting your savings. But with the 8% strategy, you could withdraw $80,000 each year. This means that you could double your income in retirement simply by adopting a higher risk investment strategy. Of course, this approach isn't without its risks. The main concern with the 8% withdrawal strategy is that you might run out of money faster than expected if your investments don't perform as well as planned. If the market takes a downturn or your investments underperform, you could be forced to reduce your withdrawals or deplete your savings earlier than anticipated. So, how can you make this strategy work for you? One key to making the 8% strategy successful is diversification. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, so it's important to have a diverse range of investments, including stocks, real estate, and other assets that can generate returns. This way, even if one part of your portfolio takes a hit, the other parts might still be performing well, allowing you to keep your withdrawals consistent. Another critical factor to consider is the withdrawal rate itself. While 8% might be a reasonable starting point, it's important to monitor your portfolio and adjust your withdrawals as needed. If the market performs well, you might be able to stick to the 8% withdrawal rate for a longer period. However, if things aren't going as planned, you might need to lower your withdrawal rate to protect your savings. To give you a better idea of how the 8% strategy could change everything, let's look at an example. Imagine you're 60 years old and planning to retire in the next few years. You've saved up $1.5 million, and you're thinking about using the 8% strategy. According to the 4% rule, you'd be able to withdraw $60,000 each year from your savings. But with the 8% strategy, you could withdraw $120,000 each year. This gives you significantly more income in retirement, which could allow you to live a more comfortable life or spend more money on things you enjoy, like traveling or hobbies. Of course, not everyone is in a position to take on the level of risk required for the 8% strategy. If you're more risk-averse, you may prefer to stick with the traditional 4% rule. However, if you're open to higher-risk investments and you want to increase your income in retirement, the 8% strategy could be a game-changer. Another factor to consider is how long you plan to be retired. If you're planning on retiring early and living for several decades, you might be more inclined to take on higher risk in the early years of retirement to maximize your income. On the other hand, if you're planning on a shorter retirement or are more concerned with protecting your assets, you might prefer to stick with a more conservative withdrawal strategy. The key takeaway here is that the 8% withdrawal strategy is a more aggressive approach to retirement planning. While it offers the potential for higher income, it also comes with increased risks. It's important to carefully consider your risk tolerance, investment strategy, and long-term goals before deciding whether the 8% withdrawal strategy is right for you. One of the main benefits of the 8% strategy is the flexibility it offers. With a traditional 4% rule, you're limited to a fixed withdrawal rate, which might not be enough to cover your expenses or allow for a comfortable lifestyle. With the 8% strategy, you have the opportunity to withdraw more, giving you the ability to live a better life in retirement. Another benefit is that the 8% strategy can help you make the most of your retirement savings. If you've worked hard to build up your nest egg, why not take advantage of it and get the most out of your investments? The 8% withdrawal strategy offers the chance to do just that, while still being mindful of the risks involved. In conclusion, the 8% withdrawal strategy could be a game changer for your retirement planning, offering a bold alternative to traditional methods. This strategy has the potential to significantly increase your retirement income, providing you with greater flexibility to enjoy your later years without the constant worry of running out of money.
With the 8% strategy, you can withdraw a larger percentage of your savings each year, allowing you to live more comfortably and possibly pursue activities, travel, or passions that you might otherwise have to delay or give up. This higher withdrawal rate could be the key to achieving the retirement lifestyle you've always dreamed of, offering a sense of financial freedom that might not be achievable with more conservative withdrawal strategies. However, like any investment approach, the 8% withdrawal strategy is not without its risks. By opting for a higher withdrawal rate, you're exposing your portfolio to the possibility of faster depletion, especially if the market doesn't perform as expected or if unforeseen expenses arise. These risks become more pronounced when there is significant market volatility or a long-term economic downturn. The success of this strategy depends on more than just luck. It requires careful planning, ongoing monitoring, and adjustments to your investment strategy as market conditions evolve. Without a solid investment plan, the high withdrawal rate could lead to financial struggles later on, potentially requiring a drastic reduction in withdrawals or even returning to work to replenish your savings. It's crucial to have a well-thought-out investment plan in place to ensure your withdrawals remain sustainable. This plan should include a diversified portfolio, balancing high-growth assets like stocks with safer, more stable investments such as bonds or real estate to help mitigate the risk. Additionally, regularly reviewing your portfolio and adjusting your withdrawal amounts as needed is essential. A robust strategy should be adaptable, taking into account changes in market performance, inflation, and unexpected life events that could affect your finances. In this way, the 8% withdrawal strategy can be a viable and sustainable option, but only for those who are proactive in managing and protecting their assets.